Good night or good evening. Good evening, Jairo. Today,
Good night,
good evening, good evening.
good
Today,
evening.
sorry. Today we are going to start to study the session 4. There should be a law. This is the topic that we are going to study in this next 30 minutes. The first activity we are going to study is about modal verbs must, have, to, and should. Uh, Here is the definition. We use have to, must, should, plus infinity to talk about obligation, things that are necessary to do, or to give advice about things that are good idea to do. Must and have to are both used for obligation and are often quite similar. They are both followed by the infinitive. I must go now, I have to go now, is the same. Are these exactly the same? Well, almost. We often use must for more personal opinion about what is necessary to do and have for what somebody in authority has said it is necessary to do. I must remember to get a present for Daisy. This is my opinion. Do you have to wear a tie for school? Asking about school rules. Which verb do people use more? Have to is more frequent in conversation. Must is used more in formal writing, for example, in written notice. Passenger must fasten their sets belts. Do they change in form for I, you, he, she, it, etc.? Have changes in the third person singular, he, she, it, has, but most doesn't change. It is a modal verb and modal verbs don't change. I think I have heard, uh, I've heard have got to. Is that correct? Yes, we use both have got to for obligation and had better for advice, a lot in speaking. You have got to be careful with a cat. You'd better get something a bit quieter. I better go. I mustn't miss the helicopter. So they are not used in informal writing. Could you read this page, Jairo?
Okay.
Okay.
Now there's something very important about must and have to. The positive form are very similar. I am meaning, but the negative form are
Completely?
completely different. You
Mustn't, mustn't. You
mustn't
mustn't.
for, forget.
You mustn't forget.
Don't forget, you have no choice.
No choice. Okay.
If you don't like him, you don't have to see him again.
Again.
Again, correct.
Okay.
There is no obligation to see him again, but you have a choice. Um, I am still a bit
Still.
confused.
I am still a
Confused.
bit confused. I am still a
Confused.
bit confused.
I am still a bit confused.
Okay.
Here's
Here
an
is
example.
here
An
is an example
example
you can remember.
you can remember.
Okay.
Okay. And no smoking or you must smoke, but in smoking or you don't have to smoke, but you can if you want to.
In a no smoking
Ah,
area, you mustn't smoke. But in a smoking area, you don't have to smoke, but you can if you want to. Okay, continue.
Right. I mustn't
Mustn't,
forget that.
I mustn't forget that.
No, you mustn't. Okay, let's go. Let's look at the base
Our advice,
telling advice telling people what you think is a good
idea, idea.
idea. We use should for the base advice or making suggestion
Suggestion.
suggestion and most for strong advice
Okay.
you must go for a walk
For
while the
what?
dog at least
Once a day.
once die
Once a day.
once
Once a day.
die. Maybe you should go for a coffee or lunch and see oh ¿cómo se dice?
How
No,
you feel?
how you
It's a
feel,
question.
how you
It's a
feel,
question. Maybe you should go for a coffee or lunch and see how you feel.
how you feel.
Okay.
You shouldn't leave it on the street. On the
Okay.
street. I think I have heard people use it should in other ways. Like he should be here a minute. That not advice is it.
Mhm.
No, that that talking about what is legally
Likely,
likely or
probable,
probable
probable.
probable.
Uh-huh.
We look at that use another day.
Another
We
day,
use another day. We use modal verb in different ways.
different ways.
I see. So I see. So
So, uh-huh,
I sure think about one use at the time.
at the
At a
time.
time.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. You
You
must
mustn't,
get.
you
You
mustn't get
mustn't. You
confused
mustn't get confused by too many uses at
at once,
once.
at once. Okay. Let's move
At
to
once.
the next one is a video you will have the opportunity to watch by yourself. The next one is a grammar focused question. Okay, that question. That question grammar. A tag question is an special construction in English. It is a statement followed by a mini question. We use the question to ask for confirmation. They mean something like, is that right? Or do you agree? Or they are very common in English. Question tags are short questions at the end of the statement. They are mainly used in speech when we want to confirm that something is true or not, or to encourage a reply from the person we are speaking to. Question tags are formed with the auxiliary or modal verb from the statement and the appropriate subject. A positive statement is followed by a negative question tag. Jack is from Spain, isn't he? Mary can speak English, can she? ¿Entendés el significado de eso, Jairo?
The I can, oh, no,
No, no, no. Jack is from Spain, isn't he?
isn't he? Jack es de España, o es como decir no,
¿Verdad?
o,
¿Verdad?
ajá,
Eso significa.
verdad,
Sí.
verdad.
Mary can
Isn't
speak
he?
English. Mary can speak English. Can she?
Mario puede hablar inglés,
¿Verdad?
verdad significa. Ah,
Sí. Se traduce, no es literal la traducción.
mm.
Es un inglés inferido. Es un inglés en el que vos podés traducir.
Como está en negativo, yo pensé que era como un no, o no sé, como un
No
no, así
puede,
como quien dice, como.
no puede ella.
Mm,
Sí, ¿verdad? Mari puede hablar
sí.
inglés. No puede ella. Sonaría horrible.
Ajá,
Sonaría horrible.
sí.
Sonaría horrible. Jagger de España, él no está, ¿verdad? Él no está.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Entonces no podemos traducir así. Se traduce como verdad. Jagger
Yes.
está en España, ¿verdad? Mari puede hablar inglés, ¿verdad? Nada más que el contexto de los verbos, pues cambia el sentido de la oración, pero indican lo mismo. Gramaticalmente vamos a construir oraciones así, pero debemos tomar en cuenta de que el significado va a ser el mismo, aunque su estructura gramatical cambie. ¿Ok?
Okay, teacher.
Esto es en positive, pero cambia en negativo. A negative statement is followed by a positive question tag. Si la oración es negativa, la palabra verdad, are they, va a estar en positivo, ¿ok? En afirmativo. Mira aquí. They aren't funny.
Very fun. Fun.
Are they? Ellos no son divertidos, ¿verdad? Pero si te
¿Verdad?
fijas, en el tag question está en afirmativo.
En
Mientras que en la de
afirmativo.
arriba, en la que dice que es positiva la oración, al final está en negativo.
Sí.
Mientras que en la negativa, si la oración está en negativo, al final va a estar en positivo. ¿Ok?
Yes.
He shouldn't say things like that. Should he? When the verb in the main sentence is in the present simple, we form the question tags with do or does. You play the guitar, don't you? Alison like tennis, doesn't she? This is in the case of all of these sentences are in simple present or present simple, okay? If the verse is in the past simple, we use did. They went to the cinema, didn't they? She studied in New Zealand, didn't she? We need to observe the verb in these sentences. It's in past. After the subject pronoun, we can observe the verb is in past, went. And in the case of she is the subject pronoun and is followed by a verb in past. And in this case, these both sentences are they are affirmative, but they are also in past. So in this case, I need to use didn't in past and didn't in this case of the sentence. Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay. I hope you don't get confused because this is very easy to understand. When the statement contains a word with a negative meaning, the question tag needs to be positive. ¿Ves? Aquí lo explica. Cuando la oración contiene una palabra con un significado negativo, la tag question va a ser en positivo.
Positiva.
Siempre. Mira lo que dice aquí. He hardly
Yes.
ever speak. He hardly ever speak. Does he? Esto es una expresión negativa. Él raras veces habla, ¿verdad? They
Yes.
rarely eat in restaurant. Do they? Ellos raras veces comen en restaurantes, ¿verdad?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. The tag question form for opinion. Affirmative statement plus negative tag. Health insurance is really expensive, isn't it? There are a lot of criminals in the city, aren't there? Graffiti makes everything look ugly, doesn't it? Colleagues should provide daycare, shouldn't they? In a negative statement plus affirmative tag. Child care isn't cheap, is it? There aren't enough police, are there? People don't care about our city, do they? You can find affordable child care, can you? That's all fault. The only thing that I recommend is that try to practice all of these kind of tag question in affirmative, in a negative way, in order to learn by her the grammar structure. Okay, Jairo, this is the most important. That you can
Okay, teacher.
identify the different grammar structure. When a sentence is positive, the tag question is gonna be affirmative. If affirmative, in negative, the tag question. If the sentence is in negative, the tag question is gonna be in affirmative. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is the most important difference. This is a video. You will have the opportunity to watch it. Another video, the tag question example. Here we have verb tense. Present be verb tense sentence, positive sentence, the tag question is in negative. Negative sentence, tag question in positive. Present be, she's American, isn't she? She isn't American, is she? Present simple, you study English, don't you? You don't study English, do you? Past simple, you were at home, weren't you? You weren't at home, were you? Past continuous, Tom was watching TV, wasn't he? Tom wasn't watching TV, was he? Present perfect, he has written 5 letters, hasn't he? He hasn't written 5 letters, has he? Past perfect, you had had lunch, hadn't you? You hadn't had lunch, had you? Will, he will read this book, won't he? He won't read this book, will he? Modal verbs, he can read this book, can he? He can read this book, can he? I know that if you see at first so, maybe you can get confused easily. But if you practice all of these grammar structure, you will have the opportunity, Jairo, to learn by heart this grammar structure. I know that it's a little bit confused at the beginning,
Yes.
but if you practice a lot, you will have
Uh,
the opportunity to do in a good way grammar, all of these sentences. In class activity, a new law. We are going to watch this. Okay, a new law. Discuss the problem in your community and come up with answer to each situation. Okay, I'm going to read. What is the problem and how does it affect your community? What can be done to help solve it? Who might disagree with you and how will you convince them that your law is a good idea? This is an example. I think students in our town should be required to wear a school uniform. A student should be permitted to wear the latest fashion because this promotes jealousy and competition. Also, a student will be able to concentrate on their studies before it. What is the idea in this topic that you can give an opinion about what is important to use uniform, for example, in a school, but maybe you can compare the opportunity to wear a different kind of clothes in the university. Because
okay.
what is the reason most of the students in the university use a different kind of clothes with different outfit, but not in primary and secondary school?
Mm, ¿Cuál es la diferencia del colegio a la secundaria en la cuestión de vestimenta, verdad? Eso
Ajá,
preguntó.
exacto.
Bueno, eh,
What do
mm,
you think is the best answer?
mm, the university is good. What, ¿cómo sería? It's good that the university doesn't have a uniform.
Yeah. And what is the reason?
Eh,
What do you think is the reason
eh,
to use different kind of outfit in the university, but not in primary and secondary school. Do you consider this is related to the age of these guys? Because when they are in primary school, they are children. But when they are in the secondary school, they are teenagers.
Yes.
The level of maturity in this age, when they are teenagers or maybe children, is not appropriated to have a criteria. Maybe they are not mature in order to have a criteria about the way some classmates use in class. Maybe could be a discrimination.
Yes.
A discrimination with some girl that wear a kind of clothes, but maybe the parents of these guys don't have the opportunity to buy a good outfit to go to the school, and this is a problem.
Yes. It is important more expensive to be buying uniforms. Instead, the university is not required.
Exactly.
Um,
The student in the university have a different level, and they are mature in order to create a criteria more meaningful in order to establish good relationship between them. And maybe if they are teenager, I consider they don't have enough maturity in order to establish a good relationship, and maybe they maybe feel a little bit jealous because some of them are using, for example, a good outfit with a good t-shirt, maybe a fashion clothes, or maybe a good pair of shoes. And some student can say, okay, I'm not going to go to the school because my partner Jairo is wearing a wonderful pair of nice shoes, and I don't have money to buy a new pair of shoes. Or maybe he's wearing a good t-shirt, and I don't have money to buy a new t-shirt.
okay.
Maybe the student feel a little bit frustrated, a little bit disappointed because their parents don't have enough money to buy a good outfit to go to the high school or the primary school. Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Okay, let's move to a reading. How serious is plagiarism? Plagiarism, okay. Okay. Read the title, or how serious is a plagiarism? Read the title and first paragraph of the article. What do you think the word plagiarism means? In 2002, a biology teacher in Kansas, a state in the American Midwest, made national and even international news after Christine Pelton discovered that 28 of her 118 students had plagiarized parts of a major project. She gave them failing grades. Although this was the school policy, the students' parents complained. The school board directed Miss Pelham to change the punishment. They told her that 600 points should be taken from the offenders rather than the entire 1,800 points. Miss Pelton resigned in the protest. Okay, what is the meaning of plagiarism means according to your reading comprehension? Jairo?
Eh,
What is plagiarism for you?
no,
Do you know the meaning or not?
mm, profesor de biología de Kansas, se le puede hacer con en escuela.
Es plagio, en español sería plagio,
Plagio,
sí,
pero
pero ¿qué significa plagio?
eh, sí, pues copiarse algo lo que sea, puede ser libro,
Sí,
lo que es.
por lo menos, si vos vas a hacer una monografía y vas a hacer un estudio monográfico basado en un tema y ese tema ya fue abordado en defensas anteriores, vos no podés tomar literalmente el título y el contenido de esa defensa monográfica para irla a exponer como tuya, porque eso es plagio. Inmediatamente la universidad te lo vota. Un ejemplo también de plagio fue la canción de Hernaldo Zúñiga, que se la plagió Julio Iglesias. No sé si en alguna ocasión la habrás escuchado, que se llama Lo mejor de tu vida.
No.
Lo mejor de tu vida me lo he llevado yo.
Ah, sí, 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 sí,
Lo
sí.
mejor de tu vida le he conquistado yo, algo así va. Esa canción no era de Julio Iglesias. Esa canción era del nicaragüense Hernaldo Zúñiga. No sé si los habrás escuchado mentar.
Sí, sí, sí.
Bien, entonces, esa canción se la plagió Julio Iglesias a, a Hernaldo Zúñiga. Antes eran famosos esos plagios, ¿entendés? Eran famosos.
Sí.
Se los plagiaban en el momento en que estaban grabando. Se hacían unas conexiones allí, no sé cómo, pero se las robaban las letras. Y entonces Hernaldo Zúñiga lo demandó y tuvo que pagar una compensación millonaria por haberle robado esa letra de la canción. Entonces, ese es un ejemplo de plagio. Ok, entonces, vamos a seguir leyendo aquí porque todavía tenemos unos cuantos minutos. Eh, ujú. Why did this become such a significant story? Perhaps it is because so many people feel strongly about what is right and wrong. The incident raises some important questions. What is plagiarism? How serious is it? The simplest form of plagiarism occurs when someone copies material. Ves, aquí está lo que te estaba diciendo en español. The simplest form of plagiarism occurs when someone copies material without giving credit to the source. However, there are also more serious forms, such as when a student pays someone else to write an essay. ¿Entendés aquí? Dice que la simple forma de plagio ocurre cuando alguien copia material sin darte el
Toda
crédito
la fuente.
de la fuente. Sin
Yes.
embargo, hay muchos más formas serias, tales como cuando un estudiante le paga a alguien para que le escriba un ensayo.
Ujú.
¿Viste?
Yes.
Okay, this is the end of the class. We don't have enough time. Thank you for attending to my class.